All right, I'm back, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Welcome,
sir.
welcome to statistics. Let's see, it's Math V44, Introductory Statistics. Oh, we got a little kiddo here too.
Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. No, he's fine. Um, yeah, guys, so I'm gonna record this, and so if you give me just a minute to make sure everything's recording, and then we'll get started. So oh no, we're all good. Okay. So we've got enough people in here where I'll probably put you guys all on mute. And so to communicate with me, use the chat feature. Do you guys see the little chat button on the Zoom bar? Go ahead
Yeah.
and say hi over in that chat just to try it out. Click the chat and then a Zoom bar should come up on the far right. Okay, all right, great. If you're having any issues, it's on the Zoom bar. It's kind of near the middle next to the share screen. Okay, perfect. And okay. All right, so we're all good there. Okay. All right, yeah, welcome to Math B44. So my name's Mike McCain. I'm going to be your instructor this semester. I'm still getting these dings. I don't know if you guys can hear that, so it'll be a little distracting, but we'll make this work. Okay, so yeah, welcome back. Did you guys have a good nice little break? Anyone do anything fun? Any snowboarders in here? Visiting family? I went down to Temecula to go spend some time with some family down there. It's pretty fun. Got to see some wine country. But went to Tahoe. Awesome. Time with family. All right. Well, I hope you guys got a nice little break over the break. Legoland. Cool. I still want to check that out. Eventually I'll get over there. Stuff's getting really crazy expensive. So my plan today is to introduce you to the course, kind of show you around, show you all the buttons. You know, this is a online class. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of stuff. It's going to take a little bit to get used to, but the more I show you now, the less questions you'll have, and you'll have a chance to ask your questions over there in the chat. And then after our meeting today, you can stick around and I'll help you out. Okay. I sent out some information. I posted the class. I think I set up a getting started module where you could kind of work through um, getting set up, printing out stuff that you need. I noticed that some of you have already moved through that, which is great. If you haven't, that's okay. We can do it together today. I'm hoping to get everyone registered into MyLab. One of the great things about this course too is the taxpayers are subsidizing your MyLab costs. Usually that's anywhere between $70 to $100. So if you follow the instructions, you should be able to get free MyLab access, which pretty much covers the cost of your materials. There is one other thing. You have to print out some stuff, and I have an option for you there too. We'll discuss that shortly. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna put you guys all on mute. So give me just a second to figure that out. Let's see. Can mute. How do I mute everybody? Participants. Okay, mute all. There we go. So again, if you have a question, ask me over there in the chat, and I'll try and keep that active so I can see your questions. And if I miss it, unmute yourself and let me know to read the chat or let me know your question. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. So let me know over there in the chat. Can you guys see the screen I'm sharing? Okay. All right, great. Awesome. All right, guys. So this is Math V44. I've got 3 courses, and I've invited you all 3 of my classes, statistics classes, to this single orientation. So it doesn't matter which class you're in; they're all the same. So I'll just click this one, and what you're seeing now is kind of like what you would see on your end. Only this is like an instructor view. So if I click this button up here, this is what you guys would see if you log into the course right now. Okay. I'm going to show you around just kind of navigation, where everything kind of is, and then we'll jump into the syllabus. Um, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that's probably a good plan. Okay. So first of all, when you log into your course, over here on the far left, we call that a global navigation panel. You don't really need to use this very much except for the email button right there, the one that says inbox. That's how you're going to contact me. So you don't want to use my school email. You want to use this. The reason we use this is because it separates my classes and I'll know which class you're in. Um, and pretty much you can use the calendar. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then there's some account setup. But other than that, you don't really need to use this. This over here is called the course navigation panel. And I'll be going through these little buttons in just a second. And over here at the top, you'll see the most recent announcements that I've posted. I think it'll post the most recent 3 announcements. If you want to look at previous announcements, you would click here and you'll see all the announcements that I've posted for the entire semester. Probably don't need to do that though. You'll probably just look at the most recent 3 up here. Over here on the far right, you don't really need to worry about these buttons. However, this button right here might be useful to you. If you click that button, it'll take you to this page. I can't see it because I'm a teacher, but it will allow you to turn on and off notifications. For example, if you want to be notified when grades get posted or something, you can set it up so that it either sends you a notification on your phone or it sends you an email. You know, some people turn them all off. I would probably turn on some of them just so you know when something happens. Otherwise, you're going to have to log in every day to check. So you probably want to turn on the one for announcements. That would be important. It should be on by default. Um, but yeah, you can check that out. And I posted some instructions. I'll talk about those in a second too. Over here on the far right, you're going to see a to-do list. Now, we kind of have to be a little careful with this. We're working with 2 programs this semester. We're working with Canvas, which is the program you're on right now, this online program, but we're also working with MyLab. And they don't exactly work perfect together. So these are pretty much going to tell you what's kind of coming up, what's due, but you kind of have to be a little careful with that. It misses stuff sometimes. So I'll talk about where you need to go to make sure you don't miss anything in just a second. All right, let's go through these little buttons over here. I already mentioned the announcements button. When you first log into Canvas, you're going to default to the home page. This is basically where all of your material is going to be. If you go down here, these are called modules. And I've asked you guys to kind of work through this module. We'll talk about this stuff in a second. I have a resources module for an e-text and some other links here. And then I have our chapter 1 work, which I've already posted. And it looks like some people have already started. So we'll talk about that in a second. And finally, let's see. Oh, let's go through these. Instructor notes. I might be posting some like supplemental notes. I don't think I have anything in there right now, but I might be posting some stuff there, and I'll let you know in the announcements when and if I do. If you want to Zoom with me during my office hours, or if we set up a meeting together at some point, I'm not going to send you a link. You could just click here and this will jump into my room. It's a permanent link. If you want to Zoom with the VC tutors, there are certain times they are available. You'll need to contact the tutoring center to figure that out. But once you do, if you click that button, it'll take you to the Zoom room, and then you can let them know you're in this class, and they'll set you up with a Zoom tutor. I was able to get what's called an embedded tutor for this course. She's not in the course yet, but hopefully in the next couple days she'll be in, and she'll be sending you guys an announcement. I believe she'll have, it's either 1 or 3 hours available for you guys. I think it was 1 hour per class, and I have 3 of them, so I see no reason why we can't all share the hours. I'm going to try and get her to set up hours later in the week. because I'm available Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So maybe if she did Monday and Friday or something, or we'll figure out something that works well. But this is external to me. It really has nothing to do with me. It's a person that just wanted to help you guys in statistics. They work for the college, but I'm going to stay out of it. She'll let you know how she's going to set up the tutoring sessions with you guys. The next one down is grades tab. At any point during the semester, you can go here and you could check your current grade in the class. You're going to see your assignments listed here. These are all the assignments I've posted so far. A lot of these are just kind of getting started stuff, right? And then this is just the chapter 1 stuff. But you'll see a grade, this is the number of points, and then out of, let's see, this is the total number of points, and then your score would be right there. Over on the far right, you can see your the weighting for each of the categories. I'll talk about this in the syllabus. There's a cool little what if feature. Let's say you're nearing the end of the semester and you want to know, what if I got a 10 out of 11 on this? You could actually click that little dash, type in a 10 temporarily, and it's called a what if score. And then you could look at the bottom and see what your score would be towards the end of the semester. It's a useful feature, especially for me, because I get a lot of questions towards the end about what do I need to get a C, or what do I need to get a B, or whatever it is. So this will allow you guys to do it on your own. It's not permanent. You can't just change your own grade. I did have a student try that one time, but you'll see a little arrow. It's just a temporary thing. All right. So that's that. Below that, you'll see your syllabus. I'll jump in there in just a second. The last button, Access Pearson, this is the My Lab Access. You're only going to need to press that button once. You're not going to find your homework in there. This is just for registering. Okay. So this happens every semester. Students will ask, where do I find my work? Well, your work's on the home page. Okay. I made it as easy as possible so that as soon as you log in, you don't have to click anything. You can just go down here to your homework, and start working. All right. So let's jump into the syllabus. Oh, you know what? Let me show you some buttons over here. The inbox, this is I'm a teacher, so I have to go into the teacher account. Give me just a second here. Leave student view. Okay. So it'll look something like this. It's kind of like a, baseline email system. You can probably figure it out on your own. To create a new email, you could, click that and you select your course and who you want to send it to. It's probably me, right? So it'll have the teacher listed there. So you can do that in all of your courses. Another thing that you might want to use just to get a visual for when stuff is kind of coming due would be the calendar. If you click the calendar, which I think I did, there we go. Let's see, you guys are this one. Okay, 3-0. Okay, so again, I have 3 stats classes. They're all the same. So here's kind of the setup for the semester. Today I have a bunch of stuff that's due. This is all just kind of real quick, introducing yourself to the class in a discussion, downloading and installing some stuff, printing some stuff, registering for access, taking a syllabus quiz and whatnot. In any case, take care of that as soon as possible if you haven't already. After that, you'll notice that your assignments are pretty much due Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, and pretty much the whole semester, it's going to be 2 sections per week. So I don't know if you guys can you guys still see my screen okay? Okay, so Tuesdays and Thursdays are the due dates. I kind of spread everything out equally. We do have discussions, which are due at the very beginning of the week on Monday. This is the easiest part of your grade. You just need to go in there and write something thoughtful and substantive. Okay, so make it a short paragraph, at least. That would be, if you just write in one sentence and you don't show any work, then you won't get any credit. And this is the easiest part of the class. So make sure you do that. Okay. All right. And then let's see, up at the top under account, there are some settings and things you might want to use. I think one of the assignments is to upload a picture of yourself. That's in the Getting Started module, so you'll see a picture of yourself there. These are global notifications. If you want to change settings for all of your courses, for example, if you want to see the announcements for all of your courses, you would do that here. Okay. All right, so let's jump into the syllabus. And before I do that, I'm going to pause just for a second. Do you guys have any questions so far? I know I haven't talked about too much more about navigation stuff, but let me pull open the chat. Any questions so far? No questions from Alex. Okay. Oh, good question. How do we connect to StatCrunch? Yeah, I'll show you that shortly. One way, Hannah, would be to just go to www.statcrunch.com. But there's a couple different ways. As far as the password, and I'll mention this again later, you're going to use the same password you use for Canvas. StatCrunch kind of comes with this MyLab program, and it's all linked to the same account. So just use your Canvas username and password. How do we turn up someone's volume? I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean my volume, Sergio? Oh, do you mean your volume? You should have a volume. I think probably mean your volume. You just somewhere on your computer, you should have a volume button. You should just click volume up there. Yeah, I'm as loud as I can be, so it sounds like maybe you can't hear me very well. Um, yeah. Okay. Okay, no problem. And Caleb says, are we going to be taking pictures of our work, or can I do the work online too if I can make it in PDF because I have Apple Pencil? Yeah, we'll talk about that. There's two options. You can use an iPad or a tablet as long as you write it out with your handwriting and upload, or you can print it out and take pictures and upload. So yeah, we'll get to that. All right, so let's walk through the syllabus together. After that, we'll work through the Getting Started module shortly and make sure everyone gets registered, and then you guys will be able to start your work today. All right, so this is basically our syllabus, and I made it kind of interactive so you can open and close stuff. I'm going to go through a lot of this quickly. I don't want to waste your time. So, but yeah, my name is Mike McCain. Gosh, I've been teaching here. I think it's 19 years now. I've taught statistics many times. I've watched this course grow for, I think when I started, I think we had 3 sections. And now we have 30 or more. It's become a very popular field. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, it's a booming area to get into, because of the invention of the computer and the vast knowledge that's out there. They need people to sort through the data. And so this is becoming an increasingly important area. In any case, okay, so this class is an online class. So what that means is we have no on-campus or in-person meetings. All right, so the first question you might say is, what about tests? Well, I don't believe it's possible to have a test that I can conduct online and protect the integrity of it. It's kind of, we've tried, we've used programs, and there's always ways around it, and it's been really frustrating. So what I've done for this class is there's no tests, okay? Now, the trade-off here is that we do have a lot of work to get through, but as long as you stay up with your work and you complete it on time, there are some extensions that we'll talk about in just a minute. You can get whatever grade you want. You just have to put in the time and plan ahead and work early. I think overall, students are very happy with this. I know some students are like, why do I have to do all this work? Well, think of it this way. It's a trade-off, okay? So you don't have to do tests. Historically speaking, tests are, if I switch to tests, then I think most of you would not be happy with that. Yeah, but while we have online classes, I don't know what else to do about it. All right, I do have some questions over here. Hannah asked, how does Genius Scan work? We'll talk about that too, Hannah. What are the days and hours, or is it at our own pace? Yeah, so I think you're talking about I'm not sure what you mean by days and hours. I do have office hours. We'll talk about that. Oh, the class. Well, this is an online class. It's considered, I should mention this too, it's asynchronous, which means you guys can work whenever you want. All right. We have videos online. I'm going to be posting at least once or twice a week, sharing information. We'll keep going. I think many of these questions will be answered as we continue. All right. Okay, so what about contacting me? Well, there's a few different ways. One of them is you use the Canvas messaging system, and that's that button right there where it says inbox. I mentioned that earlier. Another way is you can call my office, and this will forward to my cell phone. Just try to keep your calls like within kind of business hours or close to it, because it does forward to my cell phone, and I guess I could make sure I turn it off at night, but maybe keep it before 7 p.m. maybe, and not before maybe 8 a.m. would be great. And then also we have another way to contact me is using the Ask My Instructor button in MyLab, and I'll be showing you that shortly. You're going to want to use this one the most, I'm guessing, because this one will send me a copy of the particular question you're working on, and you'll be able to comment on it, and then I'll see which problem you're working on. That way you don't have to copy it out, and I think it'll save you a lot of time. So we'll talk about that. I put some pictures up so you can kind of see what it looks like, but I'll show you exactly what it looks like in just a few minutes. This is fairly important. This class requires a desktop or a laptop computer running Mac OS or Windows. So if you're planning to do this class on an iPad, entirely on an iPad, you can't do it. There's some stuff that's not going to work. So at this point, if that's all you have, you're probably going to want to find a different class. Now, an iPad could be used supplementally. That would be fine, but you do have to have regular access to a laptop or desktop computer. All right. Got some questions over here. Anyone interested in group studies yeah, that would be great. We'll talk about that too. See if we can incentivize you guys to work together. What else? Yeah, it's not going to work on a Chromebook either. Chromebooks do not run Mac OS or Windows. They run, I think it's called Chrome OS or something, and that's not going to work either. So it'll work for part of the class, so you can use it supplementally, but it won't work for some of it. So just letting you know on the outset. Also, you're going to be submitting pictures to me, pictures of your work. So you're going to want to have some kind of mobile device. I haven't run into any issues because pretty much everyone has some kind of mobile device, smart device nowadays. I don't even know if you can buy one of those old ones. And it needs to be running iOS or Android, which is pretty much all phones. So I think we're okay there. If you don't have a phone or some issue, then what we'll probably do is I'll have to set up something for you where you have to scan your documents on a computer. But it's a pain. It's much easier on the phone. Yes, through your phones. And Christy said free laptops are available to use while enrolled in the class. We do. I think you'll have to be careful though, because I'm not sure if they're Chromebooks or something else. They might be Chromebooks, in which case it wouldn't work, Christy, but we'll see. All right, the MyLab access. So I had my old instructions here, kind of letting students know how to pay for MyLab. It's like $70 to $100, and there's temporary access. But here's the thing: we started Ventura College started offering to pay for MyLab access, so taxpayers are paying for it. So so it's free to you guys. So in order to get that code, you would just complete everything in the Getting Started module. There's a specific link in there where it says get a free 18-week access code, and we'll talk about that in a minute too. And if you do have any issues with this, I can't really fix them, so you'll need to contact the VC Bookstore. They're the ones that run the free codes. Here's their phone number, and here's the email of the head lady over there. let me pause just for a second. Uh, has anyone successfully been able to get the free code? It's like a 25-digit code. Could you let me know over there in the chat? Yes. Okay. Okay, great. Is anyone having issues not being able to get it? You did the free 14 days. Okay. If you do have any issues, I would contact the bookstore, Stephanie. Because the 14 days is going to run out. Again, I want to remind you, don't use your credit card through here. You might have to use it at the bookstore, possibly. They might ask for your credit card, but I believe, let's see, do they? I believe if we can start today. Did they ask you for a credit card at the bookstore? I'm just curious if anyone bought there. But then what do they charge you and then return the funds to you afterwards? Is that how it works?
No, they charge you $1
A
and then
dollar?
and then you could get your code.
Okay, so there is a cost. It's a dollar, apparently. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. In any case, if you do have any issues, contact this number or that email there. Yeah, I'm seeing that too, Rihanna. Some of maybe at least one of my classes is saying that the course isn't available. I emailed the bookstore, and so they should be getting that fixed real shortly. If you want to get a jump on your work, go ahead and use the 14-day temporary access, which is talked about in here, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. All right. Yeah, a dollar is pretty fair, I guess. Okay. Office hours. So I'll be in my office, actually in person in my office hours. It's in the science building, Science 338, from 12:15 to 1:15, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I also have 2 hours outside of this that I can meet with students throughout the week. So the way I'm going to work with that is just send me an email. We'll set up a time. I'm generally pretty available. I'll work with your schedule. You'll work with mine. We'll find some time that works. Hannah's saying the bookstore sent the code if you email them. I was told I was having trouble. Yeah, maybe you might want to email them. Maybe that'll help there. Okay. All right, there's office hours. Okay, so far, do you guys have any other questions for me? Okay. All right, yeah, keep the questions coming because if you do have any, someone else probably has the same one, and it's easy to ask me over there in the chat. I'm trying to monitor it while we go through this. Let's see. Announcements. I'll be making announcements. You already got a couple of them. That's why you're here in this meeting because you got my announcement. Valeria asked, what computer would you recommend to have for this class? Just any Windows or Mac computer would be fine. Nowadays, pretty much all of them will work fine. Yeah, that's fine. If you want to change your notification settings, there's some instructions there. Okay, what can you expect for this class? Well, it's a 4-unit class. Now, not all 4-unit classes are created equal. Math is a more difficult subject. All right, just objectively. I mean, I guess there's some subjectivity in there depending on what your belief, but I would say it's just more rigorous. Maybe that's a better word for it. It's going to take some time. In general, for a math course, you would expect 4 hours of lecture and then 4 to 8 hours of additional work beyond that. This is in our course outlines. It's our courses are supposed to be this amount of work. So that's 8 to 12 hours of work per week for you guys. So that would be if a student had sufficient prerequisite skills. So if you don't, it might be a little more. Now, I would say historically speaking, it's probably on the lower end, maybe even a little lower than 8 hours. Maybe it just kind of depends on the week, right? So, but if you want to learn it well, I would say probably between 8 to 12 hours. All right, so make sure that you have time for this course. If you've got a job, you got other stuff, and you're overloaded, you might want to drop something, and it might be this class. That's okay. This class will be around for a while, so we can take it again next semester. All right, graded assignments. You've got, hopefully that adds up to 100. Let's see, that's 70. Yep, adds up to 100. You'll notice that there's no exams. Again, it's a trade-off, okay? First of all, prep assignments. I've got these little tiny assignments for you. A lot of them are just kind of get you ready for a chapter. I'm including the getting started stuff in the prep assignments. It's not worth very much. It's worth 5%, but it's generally pretty easy stuff. So take care of that. There are due dates, so take care of those as soon as possible. The bulk of the class is going to be taken care of in the interactive assignments. This is where your learning is going to be done. So I use a program called Interactive Statistics. It was created by Michael Sullivan and George Woodbury. George Woodbury went to Ventura College many years ago, and he created this new program. It's built in. It's built for MyLab, but it's a different type of class. If you've taken MyLab before or used MyLab before, it's more interactive. There's lots of little videos. So you're going to be watching Michael Sullivan and George Woodbury present most of the material for the course in short little cartoons, mostly cartoons, throughout the semester. I'm going to be adding in some of my own stuff. I'm going to be going through and kind of showing you, presenting some videos of myself where I'll walk through some of the activities. But for the most part, the day-to-day stuff, you're going to hear Michael Sullivan's voice and George Woodbury's voice. All right, but I'll be around. I'll help you through it. It's a pretty good course. I've been pretty happy with it, and students have been happy with it. So yeah, lots of lecture videos, short little ones, right? Lots of example problems, solutions. It's got pretty much everything that you would need to be successful in this course. I'm really happy with the way they designed this. It's got step-by-step stuff, applets, simulation activities, exercises. Okay, you do have to be a little careful. You are allowed to redo problems. Like if you miss one, you can go back and redo it. Usually you can redo them as many times as you want. However, for some of the multiple choice questions, you're only allowed, I think, 2 or 3 attempts. It'll warn you when that happens. And the obvious reason why we wouldn't want to allow you infinite attempts is because there's an incentive to just guess and just click the buttons without studying it at all. So that's the idea there. But you will be warned when you get to those problems. Also, we're going to be working with a program called StatCrunch. This comes also for free with MyLab, and it's a good program for working through a lot of these MyLab problems. In fact, I'll show it to you right now. If you want to access it directly, you would just go to statcrunch.com. And once you get your MyLab access set up, you can sign in using the same username and password you use for Canvas. And you'll jump over, you can open StatCrunch, and this is what it looks like. But it basically allows you to enter data and analyze it using, graphs, pie charts, everything that a statistician would want to use. It's got tables, it's got, you can do regression analysis, you can do hypothesis testing and confidence intervals and a whole ton of stuff. You won't have too much exposure to this at first, but I think maybe towards the second or third week, we'll start using it. Okay, but the first couple weeks, not much. Yeah. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see this. Yeah, okay. So as you're working through the assignments in the interactive assignments, you're going to see some buttons which will say video solutions. And underneath it, you're going to have some options. One of the options will be by hand. It'll work out the entire solution by hand. You'll see George Woodbury's voice, and he'll work out the whole thing with you step by step. And then you're going to see a TI 8384 button. Ignore those. We're not using calculators this semester. Okay. Below that, you're going to see StatCrunch. That's the one we're going to use. This is a much better than a calculator. All right, it'll save you a lot of time. And below that, you'll see Microsoft Excel. We're not going to use that either. So you're responsible for these two right here. You can ignore the other ones. Below that, you're going to see some technology step-by-step kind of written instructions. It's basically the corollary to the video. It's just a written instruction versus a video. And the only one you need to pay attention to is the StatCrunch one. and I'll show it to you in the program in just a few minutes. All right, so again, the bulk of your work is in the interactive assignments. Now, as you're working through the interactive assignments, you're going to be filling out a notebook. All right, so where's this notebook? Well, in the Getting Started module, I ask you to download and print a notebook. Give me a second, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay. All right. So what I've done is I've basically taken everything in the notebook and I've bound it. And I've got a bunch of copies in my office. So if you're close by and you want to save some time or maybe a little money with the printing paper or whatever, you're welcome to stop by my office during my office hours, right? Which are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 12:15 p.m. Okay. And I'll be here and I'll just give you one. You can jump in and jump out. All right. The alternative is just to print them out at home or go to Kinko's or something. So I realize some of you are taking this course from out of state. So in your case, you're going to have to print them yourself. Um, okay. Yeah. So in this guided notebook, in fact, let me show you. Charles Gripe asked which classroom? My office, and that would be in Science 338. That's also on my syllabus, Charles. So let's see. What was I gonna look? Oh, yeah, let's go here. All right, so this is where you can download and print them. So this links to my Google Drive, and if you click here, you'll see the guided notebooks. If you click that folder, it'll open up, and then you can print them out one by one. Oh, actually print them out chapter by chapter. So yeah, if you click one of these, this is what it looks like. So just to kind of show you what's going to happen here, this guided notebook basically is it's an outline of your notes as you work through the interactive assignment. It's going to follow along the interactive assignment step by step. In fact, if you go down here to section 1.1, you'll notice that there are 5 objectives. In the interactive assignment, you're going to see 5 objectives. Where it says objective 1, it says watch the video. That's in the interactive assignment. So it'll tell you what to do, and then you're going to just watch. It's usually like a short 2 or 3 minute video, and then you're going to do what it says below. If you pay close attention, you should do fine. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just need to make sure you read everything there. The idea is that at the end of the course, you guys will have a complete set of notes that you can take with you and you can use. Maybe in the future, sometimes you'll need to use your statistic knowledge from college. All right. I would suggest getting maybe coming in and getting the binder from me or binding it yourself. That way you don't lose stuff. But it's up to you. All right. Yale asked, I meant to submit the assignment. Doesn't show up in the to-do. Maybe rephrase the question. I'm not sure what you mean, Yale. Ask it again if you could. All right, so let's go back. Syllabus, here we go. All right, so again, guided notebooks are to be done along with the interactive assignment. If you do this one first and this one, you're going to waste your time because then you're going to have to go back and do the interactive assignment again. So do them together. Christy asked, is this the assignments we will be turning in for grades? Yeah, see right here. So these are all graded assignments right here. These are the percentages below. Okay, these are the weighting percentages, if that makes sense. The guided notebooks, Yale says, the guided notebooks don't show up as an assignment in the dashboard. I was wondering when those are due and when we turn those. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Sometimes they don't show up. So let me show you. Let's go into one of these courses. So if you go to, just log in like normal, and then you go down to chapter 1. Oh, that's why I didn't update the due dates. Okay, it's fine. They're going to be due at the same time as the interactive assignment. So this is also due January 9th. That's tomorrow. Don't worry, guys. There is if you, the first few sections are easy too. I know January 9th is tomorrow, a little stressful, but there is a little extension which you can use in certain situations. So we'll talk about that. Yeah, I'll fix the due dates on those guys. That's why I didn't show in the to-do list. So thanks for letting me know. All right, my lab problems. So after you're done with the interactive assignment and guided notebook, then I'm going to ask you to do some problems without any guidance. Uh, these are the MyLab problems, and they're very similar to the interactive assignments. You just won't have as much help. You'll have some help though. So those are worth 35%. And lastly, the easiest part of the class is the weekly discussions. These are just to foster just interaction between students. If you want to set up study groups, you can do them there. Share your ideas. Make sure that your posts are substantive or you won't get any points. And it's like the easiest part of the class. So do your best. All right, I'm going to pause just for a second. All right, any other kind of questions on what we've discussed so far? I've got down to graded assignments. Okay. Okay, let's talk about the due dates. So you guys have due dates throughout the week, and as you saw earlier, it's usually Tuesdays and Thursdays for the core assignments, Mondays for the discussion. So what I would do if I were you is I would try to keep up with those due dates. What I found in the past, if students don't keep up with them, it just kind of snowballs. However, I do have an extension possibility for you. Um, if you miss a due date, I'll give you until that Sunday to catch up. Okay, so that would include discussions and your interactive assignments and your MyLab assignments and your guided notebook. So you'll have until Sunday. So that gives you, a few days to get caught up. But here's the thing. This is an extension already. So if something happens on Sunday, let's say your internet goes out or something, you're not going to get another extension beyond that. Okay, so the extension is designed to kind of help you out if you have an internet problem on, let's say, Tuesday, right? Not if you have another internet problem on Sunday. So what I would do is try and get the assignments in on time. And then if you have an internet issue or something happens, you'll have a few days to get caught up. But you don't want to wait until Sunday. I had a number of students that waited till Sunday and then the internet went down, and I can't do another extension beyond that. Okay. All right. But I thought it would be important to put in the extensions throughout the due dates throughout the week so you guys know when stuff is due. Okay. So what about the password? If an assignment is late, the password is always the same. All right. It's late, LATE. All right. So don't forget that. I had a number of students asking for the password last semester, and it's always the same. Some of the things won't ask for a password, but some of them will. All right, your grades. Well, I already showed you that. You can take a look at your grades whenever you want. There is a little bit of a lag. Your MyLab grades might take, up to 24 hours to sync into Canvas. So if it's not up to date, right away, you don't need to worry. It'll get there. As long as you did it in MyLab, it will eventually sync. Elizabeth asked if we need the extension, can we still get a full credit for the assignment? Yes, definitely. You can use the extension whenever you want, but again, I would only use it. For emergencies, and you can use it on any assignment you want. Yeah. Alex said if the assignment is late and you don't get an extension, do you get no credit for that assignment? Don't get an extent. Well, everyone gets an extension on every assignment, Alex. Um, but if you don't do it and you miss the Sunday extension, then then you'll get a 0. Yeah. Is that okay? Gotcha. Oh yeah, good question. No, Tiana, you can use it on every one of the assignments. Okay. I hesitate on telling you that though, right? And you know why? Because once I tell you, you're more likely to use it. So in previous semesters, I was a little more cryptic about it. So we'll see. Um, but yeah, keep up with the due dates. You have reminders. All right. Add policies. Is anyone trying to add the course? Let me know when they're over there in the chat. Okay. Well, just in case someone's trying to add that is watching this at home from the video, the class is capped at 40 students. So the only way to get in is if someone drops, and then it goes by the order of the what they call a wait list, right? If you're on the wait list, you're not officially in the class. You'll be able to do some of the work, but not all of it. I'm not sure if you'll be able to, I don't think you'll get a free MyLab access if you're on the wait list. You can probably get the temporary. Um, in any case, if you're one of those students, send me an email and I'll give you some more information. As far as getting dropped from the course, so Ventura College's official policy is that if you miss more than 1/9 of total class hours for a semester, you can be dropped. So that's about 2 weeks worth of 2 weeks of class time. So for us, I'm going to make it worth 4 guided notebooks. That's about 2 weeks. So if you fail to turn in 4 guided notebooks by their due dates, I could extend that to the Sunday extension, include that. Then you can be dropped. So you got to be really careful to make sure you finish your work. Okay. All right. Academic integrity. You guys know the drill. If you submit work, it needs to be your own work. All right. You're welcome to get help on the example problems, but for work that you're submitting yourself, it needs to be your own. Please don't copy anyone's work. If it gets to be a problem, I'll have to move back to tests, and I really don't want to do that. So far it hasn't been an issue, but just be really careful with that. It's pretty straightforward. I think for the most part, this class works really good. So I think it'll work for you. Professional. Oh yeah. So let me pause there. Any other questions so far? We probably have another 20 minutes, guys. I know it gets probably tiring listening to me talk for too long, but we'll get through this. Any other questions so far? Okay. All right. So I know I said my name is Mike McCain. However, during the semester, so as of today until the last day of class, I'd like you to address me as Mr. McCain, Professor McCain, or Professor. Okay. We all have roles to play. This kind of is how you should be interacting with the rest of your professors on campus. When you move off to university, you're going to want to do this too. All right. When the semester is over, please go back to calling me Mike. I actually prefer it, but during the semester, that's how I'd like to be called. When you have a chance, please read this article on how to email a professor. I get a lot of inappropriate emails, and it doesn't so much upset me, but mainly it concerns me because I want you guys to have the best chance when you get out into the real world with jobs. And if you accidentally send one of these emails to your boss and you don't know what the proper lingo or proper way to communicate is, it could certainly hamper your chances at that promotion or maybe getting a job in the first place. So read that. Every area, is going to have, whether it's academia, healthcare, law firms, whatever, there's certain kind of unwritten rules that you're kind of expected to know when you get there. And it kind of sucks, but you just kind of have to be careful when you're communicating to make sure that you come off in a professional way. If I run into if there are any issues with that and I see maybe a student has write something inappropriate. And oftentimes it's not intentional. Um, it doesn't upset me, but what I'll do is I'll send you an email and I'll just kind of give you some pointers. And again, I want to make sure you understand that I don't take it personally, but I'm just concerned about your future, and I want to help you on the right track so that you don't make any mistakes in the future. Okay. All right. I hope that's positive. I'm just here to help you guys get ready for your jobs in the future. Course description. I'll let you guys read through that on your own. It's a bunch of stuff, that we're going to be learning, and some other stuff for the catalog. This is just, how we're going to interact with each other. I just wrote that in for just to have in there. Administrative dates. You'll want to pay attention to these. The start date would be today. I thought today was the 8th. I think that should say 1/8, but I'll fix that later. You have last day to add the class, drop the class with a refund, without a refund, last day with the W. So pay attention to those. As far as other help, we have the VC Tutoring Center. So you can click there. It'll take you to the webpage. There's the phone number. If you're a student with a disability, you'll need to contact the EAC as soon as possible. I can't offer any accommodations or anything until I get notification directly from the EAC, the Disability Center. Okay, so contact them. And then if you have any questions, Canvas related questions, technical ones, you can click there, and MyLab questions, you can click there. Also, I'm going to try and stick to the syllabus, but sometimes things change depending on, it could be a fire, flood, or whatever. We've had to change stuff in the past, kind of last minute. So just to let you know, I could change something depending on the situation. All right, but I'm going to try and stick to what we have. That fair? Okay. All right, almost done. Probably another 10 minutes here. So I'm going to go back to the home page where all of our work is, right? Let me back out of here. That did not refresh, right? All right. Rihanna asked, just checking, if we complete the assignments in MyLab, does it automatically get submitted in Canvas? Or do we have to? Yes, it does, Rihanna. It will submit over, but it can take up to 24 hours to sync. So you might not see your grade show up right away. So don't worry about that. But if it's over 24 hours, send me an email and maybe there's something broken, which has happened. But if you did it in MyLab, it won't delete it or anything. It'll still be there. All right. You're welcome. One other thing that's fairly important, we're using these programs and they don't exactly work well with certain browsers. The one that seems to work the best is Chrome. Okay, so if you log in and you're seeing some weird error, it's probably because you're not using Chrome. So I would download the Chrome browser, and that's actually in the Getting Started module, I believe. Yeah, it's the second one right here. And then make sure you use it. So there's the Chrome browser, download and use it. Okay. All right. And yeah, so I gave you instructions for each of these things. By the way, in each of these assignments, I have you respond by saying I have, successfully completed the assignment or whatever it is. And you click start assignment to do it. Most of you guys are doing fine with that. So make sure you work through those. Should only take you a few minutes to work through these. Yeah, install the applications. I have a couple applications for your phone. One would be the Canvas student app. You're going to want to load that onto your phone. And then download this one, the Genius Scan. Load that onto your phone. Okay? Depending on whether you're iOS or Android, you're going to click the appropriate links. You need both of them together. They have to work together. So download, sign in, get this thing set up. This will allow you to take pictures and upload your work to me real quickly. All right, so don't forget about that. I ask you to download and print the guided notebooks. Remember, the alternative is to come in and pick them up in my office. Give me a chance to meet you too, which will be great. So if you can, I would get over here. If not, you'll have to download and print them. I also have some step-by-step instructions for StatCrunch. you guys have those videos, but trying to go back and open those videos later on is a little time consuming. So I have a printout for you to save you some time. Also some tables and formulas. All right, so do me a favor now. If you guys could click where it says get a free MyLab access code, and let me know if your course is not showing there. I'm having a little bit of problems with one of the classes. Let me see what I see. Yeah, this course 30911. If you're in that course, it might not be showing for some reason. It looks like this one is showing 32428. I don't know where the other course is. It could be just because it's on my end as an instructor. But again, if you're having issues, contact the bookstore. I sent you that contact info. Okay. But I also emailed them too, letting them know that I think some students are having issues. So I'll send you an update via an announcement if you're having issues. Once you get that code from them, you're going to follow the instructions in here to register for MyLab Access. And I made a little tutorial for you with pictures. Hopefully it still works. They're changing stuff constantly. I'm hoping this one works pretty good. Since you guys have free access, I put a little note in here. You're going to choose option A, and you're going to type in your code, the free code you get from the bookstore. All right. And I'll stick around afterwards if you guys want help individually. Oh, you use the code for the other class. Well, that's fine. Yeah, if you want to use the one for the other class and it works, I won't fault you there. Use whatever works. That's good to know it worked for the other class. Oh, but what happened? But something. All right. We'll get it sorted out at some point. Worst case scenario, you can always use the temporary access. I have instructions for temporary access. I believe that's C right here. Okay. Uh, Tiana asked, can we only access the code after submitted the other assignments due tonight? Um, oh, the ones due tonight? To access the code, I think you can just click on the link. You don't have to go in order. You can click, click here to get the code. Click right here, and it'll take you to a page that kind of looks like this. Hopefully you'll see our class listed there. If not, it'll show up eventually. And then you'll click reveal access code. If it's not there, it's up to you. You can just register for temporary access. That's fine, or you can wait. It's up to you. Yeah, that's what Tina, I let the bookstore know that it's not showing any codes. So in your case, what I would do to get started is I would just go ahead and register using the free temporary access. Okay, so you go in here, follow the instructions, and then click part C. Or you could just contact the bookstore and wait a little bit. Okay? Okay. And Charles, it shouldn't be asking for a course ID. As long as you follow the instructions here, you should be logged in without a course ID. So make sure you follow these step by step. Possible you went to the wrong page or something. But if not, if there's an issue, stay after and I'll help you out. Okay. All right, good questions, guys. And lastly, you have a little short quiz. It's pretty straightforward, just to remind you about some of the important stuff on the quiz. Below that, you will see some resources. There's an e-text you probably won't need because it's all embedded into the interactive assignments. You can review past assignments, and here's a link to StatCrunch if you wanted to use it. So finally, for our content, some of you have already started the discussion. If you open up this first assignment here, discussion, this is what I'm asking you to do. I have some instructions here. So if you click there, it'll take you to what I'm expecting of you for this discussion. And then you can make your post below. It looks like a number of you already have. These are two-part discussions. You got to post something in response to my prompt, and then you also need to post something in response to someone else's prompt, someone else's response to my prompt, if that makes sense. Okay. Let's jump in. I'll show you interactive assignment. Let me yeah, let's jump into one of these. Let's do this one. All right, so once you click on one of these, you're going to open it up. And if you've used MyLab before, it's going to look a little different. This is, oh, it doesn't open until next week. Let me open one of the first ones. This one. Yeah, Alexander asked if you go to your office to get the guided notebooks, will you give us all? Yeah, I'll give you all of it, chapters 1 through 10, and it's binded together. Okay, so it might be worth the trip, right? All right, so here's your first interactive assignment. So what I'm gonna do, yeah, okay, kind of show you around here. So you're kind of working vertically. Um, Over here on the far left, you're going to kind of go through each of these steps. Your score is going to be up there, up on the top right. And you're going to work through everything. Make sure you read everything. Okay, you're going to be being asked questions in the guided notebook. So, for example, once you get through this short little section there, it's just an introduction. You're going to go to objective 1. It says define. Sorry, I got multiple screens open here. Let's see. Define statistics and statistical thinking. You'll notice there's a video there. These are short videos. Now, I'm going to show you this. You guys can see this, but you remember in the guided notebook, it said watch video. I believe it's right there. You're going to watch that video and then answer the questions below based upon what you've learned in that video. Okay. After that, looks like the next assignment is to, let's see, this is a reading assessment. So on this one, it's an alert. You have one more chance. Okay, so I believe you get 2 or 3 chances on this one. I think I showed this to a student earlier, so I already used a chance. This is a multiple choice question, and it's based upon what you've just read, the previous page. So as long as you are paying attention, this should be okay. You should be able to answer it. Okay, then we move on to objective 2. Here's the cartoons I was kind of showing you about. This is a 4-minute cartoon.
You were walking down the street and noticed that a person walking in front of you dropped some money.
That's Michael Sullivan. The other one, of course, is George Woodbury. Both great guys. I'm actually in contact with them via email. So if you do have any issues, let me know and I can usually get them fixed right away. There's also some problems with points. Let's see. Yeah, that's worth a point. This one's worth a point. Let's click this one. Yeah. So, based upon your reading above, you should be able to answer these questions. Okay. It's a very straightforward class. All right. And it's designed to be, fully encapsulated. So everything you would need to know is in here. So if you're missing something, it's probably because you misread it or maybe just missed it somehow. All right. But you can still, please reach out to me whenever you want. I'm going to do my best to get back to you right away. All right. Now, at first, I don't think you're going to see much StatCrunch stuff. So I'm not going to really discuss StatCrunch yet. I think I'm going to wait until maybe the second or third week to kind of show you some more stuff in there. But yeah, I don't think I want to keep you here too much longer. So let's go back and show you just a couple more things and then we'll get out of here. Let's see. All right, so these are the 2 things you're going to be doing together, right? Interactive assignment and the guided notebook. Now, how do you submit the guided notebook? Well, you can do it with an iPad and you can submit it electronically, or you can use your phone, take pictures and submit it. Most people are going to take pictures and submit it. If you click here where it says 1.1 guided notebook, I have instructions that I made up for you guys. See where it says click here for instructions? I have a tutorial for taking pictures using an Apple, your iOS device or Android device. So for example, if you click here, I have step-by-step instructions. You need to have Genius Scan app on your phone. You need to have the Canvas Student app on your phone. And then I took pictures and showed you every step. I get a number of emails from students that are confused. And what always happens is I go back to this page and I walk through it step by step, and then they do it. So trust me, this page will explain as long as you read through every step real carefully, you'll be able to submit your work. It looks like a lot, but I'm telling you, you guys are fast. You learn this once and then you'll get the hang of it. You won't ever need to read the instructions again. All right, almost done. Last thing here. Okay, the MyLab problems. The MyLab problems, this is what MyLab typically looks like. It's just going to be a list of problems, and you're going to work through them. You've already covered these topics in the interactive assignments. A lot of them are going to feel like repeats. Okay, but remember, this is kind of the trade-off. We're not doing tests, and so yeah, we're going to do a little extra work. But trust me, in the long run, you guys are much better off doing this. All right, so let's look at one of these. Here's the format. Some of these are going to be multiple choice, but you're going to have a lot that are fill in the blank. Okay. Some of them are going to involve StatCrunch, and they'll have a little button that you use to upload your data to StatCrunch, but we're not going to worry about that yet. That's going to be maybe in a week or two. I'll post a video for you guys. You can skip around to different questions. Down here at the bottom, if you have a question for me, this is that Ask My Instructor button I mentioned on the syllabus. This is going to send me a copy of your question, which is going to be different from everyone else's. You guys all have individual questions. And then you can say, Mr. McCain, can you help me with this or whatever? And if you send me that, I'll try to respond with an answer via email. However, about half the time, it's probably going to require us meeting on Zoom. So I'll try and set up a meeting with you. All right. There's also a calculator there, just an online calc. I don't think you'll need that very much. There's a StatCrunch button, which will take you to StatCrunch. And there should be a help me solve this. This one doesn't have it. Not all of them do. Let me go back and see if I can find one. And then we'll get out of here. Let me try this one. Okay, so you see down here at the bottom, you've got some buttons here. This one where it says get more help, you can see StatCrunch, the calculator, Ask My Instructor. I already mentioned those. This one over here is probably the most invaluable tool you're going to use for these MyLab assignments. If you click this button, what it'll do is it'll show you an example that's very similar to the one that you're being asked behind it. And it'll walk you through it step by step. And you click continue, read through it, make sure you get it. Once you read through it and get it, you should be able to answer this question. I would say 90% of the time, students use this and they're able to work through the question after that. Okay. The last button is to help me solve this. This one, I don't find students use as much, but you can. This one kind of guides you along the question that you're being asked. It's actually the same question. And it'll ask you stuff along the way. It says, okay, good job on that one. Oh, I got lucky. I guessed right on that one. In any case, it'll tell you if you get it wrong. But then once you're done, it's going to give you a new question. It's not going to give you credit, So I would just use the view an example. I think that's the best one. So I have no credit on question 6. So can I go back and redo question 6? Yes, you can redo all these questions, right? That's the beauty of this class. You can get whatever grade you want. You just have to put in the time and make sure to plan ahead so that you have time to submit everything by the due dates or at least by the extended due dates. Okay. Chris Edwards asked, I'm sorry, it looks like I missed a few of these questions. Are you able to watch videos more than once, Chris? Yes, definitely. Hannah, I've read them 4 times, watched. Yeah, you can do that. Is a scanned attachment acceptable? No, your guided notebooks need to be uploaded the way that it's. Here, I'll show you. Everything needs to be sent to the same place. So if you go in here, the instructions are right there. Okay. Make sure to follow all this stuff. You need this work that you're submitting needs to be high quality. I do check your work. If you're just writing in a bunch of gibberish, you're not going to get any credit. So make sure you follow all the instructions here. But here's the tutorial on how to do it. Okay, so if you follow that tutorial, take a few minutes to read through this carefully, you'll know how to submit everything and it'll work. Um, Kirsty asked, is Genius Scan going to link with Canvas or do we have to do so? Yes, good question. So when you load both of these up on your phone, um, you will see, where is it? Yeah, it'll link up. You'll actually see it right here. It's in one of the steps. Where is it? Yeah, where it says other apps. And as long as it's loaded, you'll see the student app. And then you click that and then they link together. Yeah. Alexander asked, what is the email for the bookstore so I can ask about the free codes? I think I sent you that out in an announcement, Alex. Um, where did I think I sent it here. Where did I post that? I know I posted that somewhere. Uh, oh, thanks, Stephanie. There's another one. Here, I'll send it out. I'll send out another announcement, but Stephanie is sharing it right now. sm8100@bncollege.com. Let's see what else. Dylan asks, access code is blank for me when I go to reveal it. Yeah, if you have any questions, I would email or call the bookstore. I know I sent some contact information, you guys. I don't know where I put it though. Okay. All right. I have Canvas from before. I can still link up. I'm not sure what you mean by Canvas from before. Maybe if you could re-ask the question, Christy. All right, guys. I think we covered everything we need to cover. I'm going to stick around though. And if you have any questions, please stick around. I got plenty of time here, okay? Nice to meet you guys and look forward to working with you. Please don't hesitate to email or call me, okay? Especially during the first part. I want to make sure everyone gets up and going and knows what to do. All right, guys, good luck and hope to hear from you soon, okay? All right.